Welcome to the eBookMaker tutorial, where we'll convert a Word document into an ebook. The first thing you will do is you will open a browser and go to this URL on the screen that you see. You'll notice that there is nothing to download, nothing to install, there's no login. You just go to the website at ebookmaker.pub. Pub stands for publishing. So eBookMaker was created by a publishing company called Palamedes Publishing. The website is at palamedes.pub. You can see some of our books here. And all the ebook versions of these books were created using eBookMaker. So we've now made this available for anyone who wants to convert their Word documents into ebooks to use this website. So let's begin. So the first step is to click this import button. So you're going to import the Word document where your book is, the book that you've written, and you're going to import it into eBookMaker, and we're going to next show a preview. The preview step is not available yet because you haven't imported your book yet. So the first step is to click the import button, and here's the book that we're going to use. Now you'll notice it ends in docx. If your Word document ends in doc, D-O-C, rather than docx, you want to open that Word doc in Microsoft Word and do a save as, and save it as a docx file. A docx file will give you a much higher quality ebook at the end of this process. You can use doc if you want, but it will turn out a lower quality, and why would you want a lower quality ebook when you can give your readers a high quality ebook? So save it as docx and then import it into eBookMaker. And so eBookMaker is now converting your Word doc into an ebook. And you've noticed now that we're on the second step of the process, which is the preview step. So you'll see a Kindle previewer here. So this is what your book will look like on the Kindle. There's a table of contents, just like there would be in a Kindle, with a table of contents button that you can choose. And you can start looking through your book and see what it would look like on the Kindle. Before we do that, however, you'll notice there's some red text here. That we found some things to review, and we've called them proofreading marks. It's as if you've sent your book to an editor, eBookMaker being an editor, and the editor has told you, well, there's some things to clean up before your book is ready to be published. And so eBookMaker doesn't just convert your book, it also checks for things that might cause formatting problems in an e-reader. There's one item here to look at, and all the warnings that you'll see here are going to be linked. So you can click the link and it'll take you right to the place in your book where the problem is. And the problem is also highlighted in red here. So here's the problem. There is no dot between Gmail and com. And so eBookMaker figured out that that was an invalid email address, and you'll want to fix that before you publish it. So the way we make edits to our book is to go back to our Word document, make the edit, save it, and then bring it back into eBookMaker, which we're going to do now. You'll also notice that there's some information at the top here. As you're going through, navigating through this Kindle previewer, we're telling you what chapter you're on, the chapter number, and the page number. The page number is not the page number in your Word document. That's the page number as if this was a page in an ebook. But the chapter title will correspond to your Word document. And so if you want to say, okay, well, where's my problem? Well, the problem is in this chapter. So now it should be easy for you to go back to your Word document, go to that chapter, and find the place where we need to make our edit, which we're going to do now. So you go back to your Word document, and here's the place in the book where the missing dot is. So we're going to put the dot in. And then, very important to save your changes before going back to eBookMaker, because eBookMaker will not get the changes if you don't save them. So you save it, go back to eBookMaker, and now the button says re-import your edits. So you can make edits to your Word document as often as you want, save them, and then re-import to see what the new preview is going to look like. So we're going to do that now. So we're going to choose the same file we just edited and saved. bring that back into eBookMaker. And now eBookMaker has recreated the preview for you. And you'll notice there's no red text here, no proofreading marks. So there's nothing now flagging that there might be a formatting problem. We can go back to that place where we just made the edit to verify that, yep, the dot is now there. Looks like a good email address. And you'll want to now go through the book, go through the preview by clicking these navigation buttons to see what your book will look like on the Kindle. If there's any problems, you forgot a word, maybe something was typed incorrectly and you didn't notice it until now, you'll want to go back to your Word document, make the edits, and then re-import and look at the preview again, just like we did. If you like the way this looks and you say, okay, this looks like what I want my readers to be looking at when they buy my book, you can now go to the last step, which is the package step, which is going to create a zip file with two files. So let's go now. Actually, before we get to that, there's also a matter of the book cover. So in all ebooks need a book cover. If you don't have one, if you don't have a designer who has designed you a book cover or you haven't designed one yourself, eBookMaker will generate a cover for you. And this is what the cover is going to look like. So you'll notice there's two items here that we're asking for, which is the title and the author. And eBookMaker has done its best to guess what the title and author should be for given your Word document. But if it's not exactly like you want it, like let's say we want to get rid of that T and just have Catherine Sterling as the author, we can make the edit here, and you'll notice that the book cover has now changed. The T is now gone. And we can also change the title and say, well, actually, that's the title of the book. And eBookMaker will now generate this book cover for you. But if you do have a cover that was designed by a designer, you can now choose that cover. So you click the change button and say, I don't want to use the default cover. I want to use the cover that my designer created for me. You can now choose that. It's usually a JPEG file. It could be a PNG file, but it should be either a JPEG or a PNG file, again, for the best quality results. So choose that file, and you can see there's a thumbnail of what the file that I've chosen, and that looks like my book cover. You can always go back to say I want to use the default cover, but it's recommended if you do have a designed book cover to use that one because it looks better. So now we're ready to create our ebook. So we click the ebook, create ebook button, and now eBookMaker is creating the MOBI file for Kindle, the EPUB file for all other book readers, and also a README file, which will tell you some instructions on what to do next with your books. And these are all going to be packaged into a single zip file that you can download. And here's the contents that are in your zip file. The MOBI file for Kindle, the EPUB for iBooks, Kobo, Nook, and every other reader other than Kindle, and the README file with some instructions on what to do with your books. Now you'll notice that we're asking for credit card information here, and we will charge you $49 for this final packaged zip file. So let's talk a little bit about why it's $49 and why isn't it free or why isn't it more than that. So if you're a self-publishing author and you have your Word doc all finished, all written exactly like you want it, you're ready for readers to now read it, you have some options. So there's everything from free to around $200, maybe $250. If someone is charging you more than $250, it's probably not right. You don't need to pay that much. So the going rates right now are between free and $200. So let's talk about what you would get for free and what you would get for $200, and why eBookMaker is at $49. So there's lots of free converters out there. You can Google them, find them, try to convert your book with them. But what you will most likely find when going through that process is the quality isn't very good. And it's not something you would want your readers to be looking at. You want your readers to look at the book as you intended, not some mangled text, paragraphs missing, or whatever might happen. So that's what free will give you. And again, fine, if that's good enough for you, then you can use the free version. Then to get to the $49 level, what are some alternatives to eBookMaker? Most of the alternatives are to download and install an application on your computer. And it'll probably be around $39, $49, around the same range. And what you'll do then is you'll break up your Word document into this application because the application doesn't work with Word documents, it works with its own format. So you'll have to go through the process of breaking up your Word document, copying and pasting text into the application, and then using the application to format your book into the way you want it, and then to generate the MOBI file and the EPUB file. That's another option. A third option is to hire someone to do this for you. And that's when we're talking about more like the $200, the $250 range, is to actually email your Word document to someone. They'll charge you $200, $250, and then in a few weeks, they'll return the ebooks to you. And if you don't know who this person is, you don't know what you're going to get. You might get a good quality ebook, and you might not. The advantage of eBookMaker is the preview step, really. That's really where eBookMaker is different from the competition. We let you see exactly what your book is going to look like before you decide, okay, I actually want to pay for this. If you don't like what your preview looks like, you can keep modifying your Word document until you get it the way you like it. And then, and only then, do we charge you for the book. So one other thing to note, and this is true not just for eBookMaker, but for any website asking for your credit card information, you want to look up here and see, make sure that there is an S here. HTTPS means it's a secure website. If it just says HTTP and there's not this green lock here that you find in Chrome, other web browsers might have different types of locks or different kinds of symbols, but the important thing is the S. If any website is asking you for credit card information and it just says HTTP and not HTTPS, you should not enter your credit card information because that is not a secure website. So you'll see we have HTTPS here, we have the green lock. Chrome is telling you that yes, this is a secure website, it's okay to enter credit card information. Now this credit card information that you would enter is not stored on our server. It's only used this one time for creating your ebook. And if you have another manuscript that you want to do later, you'll have to enter this again because we don't save it anywhere. So once you enter your credit card information, you can now download your ebooks, which are already been created. It's going to be a fast download, and there it goes. Now we just downloaded the file. So in Chrome, if you're using Chrome, there's a panel below here where it puts your downloads. Other browsers have other ways of doing this. We're using Chrome, so that's what it looks like. And so you can just click this, double-click this zip file, and it will go to your Finder. On the Mac, it'll go to Explorer in Windows. Or you can click this little arrow here and say, oh, show in Finder. And again, the Windows alternative to this is the Explorer. Windows Explorer will open up, and you'll see where your zip file is. And there is our zip file. So this zip file contains the MOBI file, the EPUB file, and the README instructions. On a Mac, you just double-click this, and on most Windows machines, you can also just double-click the zip file, and it'll unzip it for you. And now you have a folder here with the files inside. So here are your ebooks, the two versions of your ebook, and then the README file that we mentioned. On a Mac, the easiest way to see what these look like is to double-click the EPUB file. Because all Macs now come with iBooks, and EPUB is the default, and iBooks is the default reader for an EPUB. So you can just double-click the EPUB file, and you'll see it'll open up. There's your cover, and there's your table of contents, and here's your book. And you'll see that it looks a lot like what we saw in the preview, except this is the iBooks reader rather than the Kindle reader. And you can click through and see here's what your book looks like. Make sure everything looks just the way you want it to be, and so that's the EPUB version. The MOBI version for Kindle, little trickier, but still possible to preview. So if you right-click your MOBI file and go Open With, you'll see that I have 3 apps installed that can read MOBI files, and these are all free. There's the Kindle app. So So Amazon provides a Kindle application for all computers, and so you can get the one for your computer, whether it's a Mac or a Windows machine or a Linux machine or something else. You'll get the Kindle app. There's also the Kindle Previewer app, which is a little different. And if you're a self-publishing author or you're a publisher of ebooks, you'll want to install the Kindle Previewer. Because the Kindle Previewer can preview your Mobi file in a bunch of different versions of Kindle. So you can see what your book will look like to many different Kindle readers, and they're all a little bit different. So the Kindle app is a very good app to have installed. And Calibre is a free app that you can read Mobi files and EPUB files. But we're going to use the Kindle Previewer now to see what that would look like. So I'm opening up the Kindle Previewer. Should open. There it goes. It's opening that Mobi file for preview. If for some reason your book doesn't automatically open when you did the open with, you can always just drag and drop this in here. You can always do that, and that should work. If it didn't automatically work, Kindle Previewer is a little finicky, but drag and drop should always work regardless. So now we see our book here. You see different options. You've got Fire HD, which is one version of Kindle, HDX, HDX 8.9. You can look at it in all of these versions. Let's try HD and see what the Kindle book would look like on an HD, on like a Kindle Fire HD. So here's our cover. We can use these arrows to go through the book, and there's our table of contents, and here's our book, and here's what it would look like on a Kindle. And looks a lot like what we saw on the website. So that's how you preview your books. Now, let's say at this stage you realize, oh, you know, there's an edit. I saw my book in iBooks, or I saw my book on the Kindle Previewer, and I missed an edit that I should have done. You can go to the website, which is here, and you can make another edit to your Word doc and re-import again. So let's do that. We're going to go here and say, let's say we want to change this this title to something else, and say, you know, that's actually what I wanted this chapter title to be. So let me make the save, and now I'm going to go back to eBookMaker and re-import. Choose the same file, just like we did before, except now we're kind of further down the pipeline. But we can still go back anytime we want. And now you can see that we have a new chapter title, Want to Contact the Author. And we go here, there's our change. And now when you go to package, you'll notice that you'll still need to upload your book cover again, because as we mentioned, eBookMaker doesn't save any of this stuff on our servers. So we don't save your book, we don't save your book cover, we don't save your credit card information. So if you do it again, you'll need to choose your book cover again. And once you have your zip file downloaded, it's yours. There's nothing on our servers that hold on to your book. It's yours to do with as you wish. Most likely what you'll wish to do with it is put it up on Amazon and iTunes and Kobo and other places. And now when you click Create Your ebook, you'll notice that we skip past the credit card information stage. And that's because eBookMaker, once you've paid, you've put in your credit card information, you have up to 7 days to make changes, just like we did, as long as you upload exactly the same Word document. As long as you import the same Word document you imported before, we're not going to charge you again. So you have up to 7 days to make the change. And now you see, like, so now if we go back to Finder, you'll notice there are now 2 zip files. There's the new zip file we just downloaded, and we double click that one, and now we have our new files here. And so to verify that we did actually get the change that we wanted, let's go to iBooks again. There it is, and there's the new title that we changed. And you can do this again and again. If you see something else, you can go back and re-import the edits and bring them in again. If for some reason, and you go back to preview, if for some reason even after the 7 days, like let's say it's day 10 after you've downloaded and you still have something that you want to change, you can always email help@palamedias.pub, and we can help you out and make the change for you. It's not a problem. The README file that you'll get with your zip file can also, all the information in the README file can also be seen in our Resource Center. So here we have a bunch of things for what to do next. eBookMaker will convert your books for you, but we also give you some information about, okay, here's how you preview your book. Here's how you distribute your book. All this information is on our Resource Center. And again, you can always go back and send us an email if you have any questions.